Have you noticed the sky just doesn't seem as blue the last few days? It's not just cloud cover or the effects of a hot and humid day. Smoke from Canadian wildfires has returned again this year.
Was making all those very nice sunrises and sunsets, and it decided to come down and visit us, and so we've been very busy since that happened.
But how concerned should you be?
And how far should you go to protect yourself?
Tonight, we're giving you the information you need to keep yourself and your family healthy, from how to limit your exposure to things you should and shouldn't do outside when there's poor air quality.
From the station with the most local news in our West Michigan, Fox 17 News at 11 starts right now.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Josh Berry.
And I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Kara James. We're at Lookout Park in Grand Rapids as we aim to bring some clarity to these hazy skies we've been seeing across West Michigan.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. You might be able to see some behind us. Canadian wildfire smoke is in the air, and this is video from Wednesday in Manitoba, which is the province that sits just north of North Dakota and Minnesota. At last check, the CBC reports that thousands of people have been evacuated, and Manitoba remains under a province-wide state of emergency. The smoke from these fires making it all the way to Grand Rapids. Here's a look over the city from throughout the afternoon and early evening on Thursday. We started seeing the smoke from these fires settle in around West Michigan last Friday, and it's been on and off ever since.
But as this shot from Stanton shows, since this morning, the haze has actually gotten a little bit better, and the air quality has also started to improve, but it remains poor in some parts of West Michigan.
These wildfires are hundreds to thousands of miles away, but the impact is still being seen and felt here at home with an air quality advisory in place across the state. So the question now is, where is the air quality the worst, and what is the timeline for this to continue?
We still have some poor air quality, especially down towards Kalamazoo and the Indiana state line, and we'll continue to see poor air quality through around noon, and then it will start to get better. Source wildfires in Canada have produced a lot of smoke, and with all of the wind direction coming in from Canada, that's why we're starting to see more of that smoke drifting into the United States, specifically into the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. We have seen some improving conditions in terms of our air quality, but the air quality alerts remain across Michigan and into eastern Wisconsin and even down into Indiana through tomorrow. So even though it's probably not going to be as bad as it was earlier today, still if you have some respiratory concerns or anything that makes it a little bit more difficult for you to breathe, the smoke and the poor air quality could still impact you, but this air quality alert officially expires at noon Friday. We have seen improving conditions the last couple of hours, but those areas in orange, that is still a spot where sensitive for certain groups, that kind of air quality is still not great. But again, we will start to see some improving conditions. One more plume of smoke will be likely to come in through the mid-morning, and then as this air quality alert expires and through the evening for Friday, it will be much, much better and clearer out there.
And I had a conversation with a meteorologist from Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy about all this smoke, why it seems we've seen more smoke these last few years, and what you should look out for. I asked if we could continue a trend of smoky skies this summer, as we have seen the last few years.
Oh, I sure hope not. We saw that last June. We were hoping that that was a one and done. Doesn't seem to be the case. I know the computer models are showing another batch of smoke and maybe slipping down later in the weekend and impacting the UP. But if you look at the fires up in Canada, they're still roaring out of control. So if the winds are right and brings it this way, it could be a long summer for us.
Jim tells me smoke from Canadian or Western U.S. wildfires has always been around, but it's usually higher in the atmosphere because it's coming from further away. More recently, the fires in Canada are only 800 miles away, and the smoke hasn't had time to elevate, remaining closer to us on the ground. Now, according to the American Lung Association, wildfire smoke is dangerous. The smoke is a toxic mixture of pollutants, including fine particles, which can penetrate deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream. It can worsen asthma symptoms. The state health department urges Michiganders to monitor air quality conditions in their area and adjust their level of physical activity accordingly. Now, as we share air quality index numbers and discuss the amount of particulates in the air, that information may go over your head. So you don't always have to depend on just those numbers.
Your eyes, believe your nose. If you look outside and it's kind of hazy and you go outside and you smell and it smells kind of funky, trust your eyes and your nose.
The American Lung Association says you shouldn't count on normal dust masks in these situations. They still allow the more dangerous, smaller particles to pass through. And those more expensive N95 masks can filter out the damaging fine particles, but it may not fit very well. You can keep your car windows rolled up, your home windows down. Keep your AC or central fan on inside so it can help filter the air out. And don't exercise outside. If you're a jogger, maybe take the day off or run inside, and maybe don't do yoga like you saw me doing earlier. There are a number of helpful resources we've included in